Philippe, it's lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Nice to meet you too.
How's it going?
I think it's fine. It's already the third time I'm coming to Dubai since beginning of the year, so something must be going on here.
Yeah, Dubai is definitely an interesting place, which is, I guess, one of the reasons why AIBC is pretty much always here. So give us a bit of background on who you are and what it is you do in the space.
Yeah, so I will try to be short because I'm 59, so that could be long.
Good luck.
So trying to be short. So I'm already on early retirement from the pharmaceutical industry. So I'm from France, but I work mainly in Switzerland because I'm living at the border. But I spent the last years already on all the new technologies, and mainly in healthcare, but it was, talking about blockchain already years ago, talking AI, IoT, and now my key topic is now around healthcare in the metaverse. And of course, I just love also to help people. I have a lot of advisory roles, helping the younger generation. For me, it's also time for me to give back, to the community. And I enjoy that a lot. And especially maybe even going further, I have a lot of talents in my network. They are 15, 16 years old. Unbelievable. In Canada, in India, there is one I just met a few weeks ago here in Dubai. And they are crazy. There's an example. There's one in Canada. He's 16, and he's talking about longevity, about Alzheimer's. When I was 16, that's not what I was talking about. So I think they are amazing talents. And I just try to help them, and support them in the journey.
That's lovely. I mean, times have definitely changed, right? But I mean, to your point, right, which is why we're talking about healthcare in the metaverse now. So how do you define that, and where's your focus area?
So I think my focus area is starting that we have a huge issue in every country. It's just slightly different in terms of resources, HCPs. So being doctors, being nurses, we don't have enough. But we have more than enough bureaucracy.
Absolutely.
So my point is to release whatever we can of their time in this bureaucracy and everything, so that they have time to do what they do best, what the humans are doing. I remember years ago I talked to one of my friends, Professor Shafi Ahmed. He's in London, he's the most watched surgeon in the world. He's doing like education, where you think he has a few thousand of students following him. He's doing session in more than 140 countries with 55,000 students attending. So just imagine what that would mean. That would be years of classroom trainings, So that's what this world can bring, And actually, Professor Shafi Ahmed is the first chief medical metaverse officer, And he's an advisor for a company called 𝐼 who has actually already a hospital in the metaverse here in Dubai. And for example, he has his own auditorium. So while you're in the hospital, you can also go to the auditorium and follow some classroom trainings. So my point is, is really to get rid of this bureaucracy and everything. And that's what he told me years ago. He said, Philippe, I'm an oncologist. I have sometimes to tell people that they have 3 or 6 months to live. So I take whatever technology can get rid of me so that I can have this human time with my patients.
Wow, that's definitely a noble cause, and also actually, I mean, a fair use case for healthcare in the metaverse, right? I mean, education is definitely a noble cause. What else do you like? How else do you see healthcare being effective?
So I think is also a key point is also moving the point of care. So I don't know anybody who loves to go to the hospital.
Absolutely.
So whatever you can do at your home or wherever, rather than going to the hospital, we should do, and that's something you can do with technology like it in the metaverse. So it can be a pre-operation, can be post-operation, and things like that. So recently, I even was contacted to talk about the metaverse in medical tourism. So my first reaction was medical tourism, and wellness, spa. That's something which is very physical. So how you want, when I go to a wellness or spa, I want to smell it, I want to feel it. And again, that sense may also come into the metaverse, it's just also a question of technology. But the key point is, this industry, medical tourism, suffered even more than some other industry during the COVID. So now they have, with the travel ban and everything, so now they have to restart. And some of them are clever and they want to restart differently. And I think that's still something which has to change a lot in the metaverse. It's not just doing the same as before. There will be new business models, and for the moment I still have the feeling we talk too much about the same with just a different technology. But there will be a completely new world opening and new business models coming with technology like the metaverse.
Absolutely. So I think people are way too focused on the technology being used and not focused enough on the solution that it generates. An example I can think of is there's this awesome project back home in Malta where medical students are using VR to lessen the stress and the impact of, let's say, needles on children, right? Which is, it's such a simple solution, and it could be.
And that's a very important point, because there are solutions that already exist today. So pain management is one topic, mental health, phobia, all these kind of things, post-operation traumatic disease and things like that. So there are already solutions where VR is used. My point is even that we should go further, because it has to become more seamless. Because the VR glasses are still not something you're going to run around in the street.
No way. And
you have also people having also getting some that they cannot afford, to take it too long. So I think VR is one thing you have to experience it, to get this immersive experience that you see the difference between, but technology will have to involve, that the metaverse is not just based on VR glasses.
Yeah, VR is just one of the aspects, right? There's AR and there's haptic feedback and a bunch of other different sort of kinds of tech. But I love how you're focused on removing the inefficiency in this industry, because it's such an inefficient industry and it's so costly to so many people, not just on the monetary side, right? Because in my industry, if I make a mistake, some code breaks. In your industry, if you make a mistake, someone dies.
Yeah, right? I think that's the other point. And again, the whole industry is actually sick. And I mentioned it when I was in Malta on a panel discussion. That. First of all, I said, let's put the elephant on the table. We talk about the hospital, so the hospital is sick. We talk about productivity and even being lucrative. So these are words that are hurting me when I hear that about patient, But on the other side, I also understand the economy. So the point is removing this bureaucracy, and then it's okay that you pay for it, but you don't want to pay for that inefficiency. So that's one point. The second point is we know that we have issues, but we go completely in the wrong direction. So I gave the example, if I go to my GP, and we have an issue to get an appointment with the GP because I have a flu, and he's already booked, he's telling you, go to the emergency. So you go to the emergency for a flu, and the emergency cannot handle, have other things to do. So we even take the wrong decision. We are losing our mind because we are in a kind of panic and taking the wrong decision.
Mr. Philippe Gerwill, a man who is anti-bureaucracy and a man after my own heart. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.